The champ in the yard. We're waiting on Happy Clapper to come in and Aloysia as well. So with that late start to the previous race, we're just a little bit behind now with just 12 minutes to go before the Star Apollo Stakes. And Duff and Lizzie, as always, it's just this anticipation of waiting for the champ to walk into the yard.
No doubt about it, Greg. The anticipation is very high here, so everyone's waiting her to come in, and I don't think she'll be far off. I think we've all seen the track work, how she's worked. Everything's gone according to plan. And this is the moment. Could this be the moment? 30 wins in a row. It's a big event, and we're not going to see her much longer. So can't wait to see her again, Lizzie.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen her a number of times throughout this preparation, just in her trials and her track gallops, her exhibition gallop, and she just is really soaking it all in now. She seems to know exactly what she's here to do, and it's exciting. Chris seems to be a bit more relaxed with us all around her as well. We're able to, really get close to her, and she certainly is one of our horses. She's a very special horse. The crowds that are here today is absolutely incredible, and I'm sure that there's going to be many, many memories made today and hopefully continuing through this preparation.
Well, the other champ's here, Happy Clapper, who's got a magnificent following, and on any other day he'd be the star attraction, wouldn't he?
He certainly would, and have a look at him there. He's a lot of work's gone into him. He's got the earmuffs in the yard here that seems to have switched him off. He had a history earlier in life of getting really hot and bothered and carrying on, but wow, there's a well-prepared racehorse resuming off a bleeding attack. I thought his trials were absolutely brilliant leading into this.
Okay, we're just waiting to see. Here she comes now. She's at the top of the tunnel, and she's about to make her way down. There's a tunnel that separates the stalls area and the magnificent Longines Owners Pavilion. They walk under that and into this Theatre of the Horse. So she'll be here in a matter of moments. She's on her way down. She's halfway down through the tunnel. All other runners are in the yard. Waller, of course, lining up with stablemates Patrick Erin, Brimham Rocks, Tom Melbourne, Unforgotten and Egg Tart, and just two rival stables here taking her on. Pat Webster's trained Happy Clapper, and Kieran Maher and David Eustace prepare Aloysia. So we'll pick her up in just a moment, only a matter of seconds away as she's about to walk and emerge out of the tunnel. And Randwick's first glimpse of the mare. The famous mare strapper Umit walking alongside. And if you cast your eyes up to the skies, there's a sky rider right at this moment riding something in the air. We'll get back to that when it's complete, but there looks like there's a W forming at the very least. So Lizzie, you've seen plenty of her. You've watched her at track work. You've seen her at the trials. What are you seeing here today?
I'm seeing a very happy racehorse and a complete athlete. I mean, it's a privilege for me to comment on her throughout her campaigns, and I've seen her a number of preparations now, but there's no denying she's back as good as she's ever been. Her attitude is what jumps out at me the most. She's just a lady now. She knows exactly what she's here to do. She knows when to press the button. She knows when she needs to do what she has to do. And right here, right now, she needs to be calm and relaxed, conserving her energy. As far as her fitness goes, I've seen her take a huge amount of improvement from each trial, and into that exhibition gallop, I thought that was when she was at her peak of her condition. She couldn't be any more ready for today, so no stone has been left unturned. She's in absolutely fantastic condition, and as I said, it's just a privilege to be here, Greg.
Okay, let's give these other horses their due respect, and we'll start the mounting yard thanks to Harvey Norman. Shop with confidence. If you need advice, they're there to help. Up in the sky, it looks like Winx is being written in the blue sky here, which is only fitting because they're the colours she wears. We'll get back to that when it's completed. Happy Clapper, we start with Sam Clipperton, back from Hong Kong. He's ridden a winner in the previous race. And there's a lot of confidence around the Clapper today for Paddy Webster.
Yeah, as I said earlier, he resumes off a bleeding attack. His latest trial is brilliant. He's trained up to run a very, very competitive race here, Lizzie.
Yeah, and he's got the earmuffs on pre-race just to keep him settled, because as you mentioned earlier on, he can get very hot and above himself. That's why he's always always got the two handlers, and he's incredibly strong because he's such a big brute of a horse. And you can see now he's going off with the pony. He's perfectly conditioned. He's turned out in great order. He's going to run a big race, but obviously it's going to be a tough task.
Now he's on target for the Sydney Cup, Patrick Aaron, Sam Weatherly for Chris Waller.
Yeah, he resumes off that Metrop win, and obviously this is just a start-off race for him.
And that's exactly how his condition presents. He's just needing this run to top him off for races throughout this campaign.
Brimham Rocks, Chris Waller, Jay Ford.
Yeah, it's interesting, Chris said this morning, while Patrick Aaron may be the Sydney Cup horse, he's convinced this is his Melbourne Cup horse. BMW stopped for the spring, so yet to miss a place in Australia. I doubt he could be under threat here, though.
Yeah, look, he's obviously another one of these staying types who's getting ready for races later on this campaign. He's pretty big in condition. He always carries a lot of weight through his midsection. That's natural for him. So I'm looking for him to improve through the run.
Here's Tom Melbourne. Glenn Schofield rides for Chris Waller.
Well, the new look Tom. He's strutting around without a care in the world, with a win next to his name. Well, I think we're all hoping it's not 2 wins next to his name. We don't want him spoiling any parties today.
No parties today. Look, he looks great. He's very happy. He's got a nice brisk walk. He's been turned out well. Obviously, he's a fitness conveyance. Look, he presents well, and he's Tom, and that's how we know him and how we love him.
All right, Huey Bowman's in position. Looks like Charlie Duckworth's going to do the honours of legging up the champion rider onto the champion horse, and she'll do a couple of laps around the theatre of the horse before she heads out. The cameras are out and ready, Ronnie.
Yeah, it's not just the cameras. Here we go. It's the eyes of the world are on her, not just us. The world's best racehorse. Everyone wants a part of her. And as soon as Huey gets on, he's getting a cheer. And look, she's not going to win running away here because that's not her style at 1,400 metres. But all we're expecting her to do is make it number 30 today. That's a big number.
He must have just gone off of her, and she's didn't even move a muscle. She seems as though she's just taking in all the atmosphere and noise, all the phones, all everyone looking and leaning over the barriers just to have a look at her. All the kids taking this in. She's an absolute champion in everyone's eyes, and she is parading exactly like one.
Now, number 6, Unforgotten, Karen McAvoy and Chris Waller. What could she do today? What can she do this autumn?
I think she'll run well, but I think she's going to do big things this autumn. It's been a plan on her for 2 preparations now, or since this time last year, to have her set for this autumn, this being her moment. I think she'll get this race out of the road, and then we're going to see some big targets for her.
Yeah, she's actually quite forward in condition for the start of her preparation. She's always a horse that comes to hand pretty quickly, and she looks as though this run will top her off nicely, as Ronnie was saying, for races later on this campaign.
Now Egg Tart, Brenton Avdulla rides for Chris.
Yeah, look, she's had the 2 trials. She's renowned for pulling a big run out fresh. She has to be a place chance.
Yeah, looks really well. She's definitely filled out from last preparation, so she looks to have a good prep ahead of her.
And Aloysia, number 8, rounds out the 8. Tim Clark for Kieran Maher and David Eustace.
Yeah, 2 months since the Villiers, where she runs second. It's a start-off race for her. She's very talented. First 4 chance to say whatever she does, she improves on.
Yeah, and she will improve again after today's run. You can see she's still a little bit big, but she's nice and fresh and well. She's obviously feeling on top of her game, and another one who would be looking to run on strongly, and look for her later on.
Okay, the wink sign is just starting to disappear, Duff. The weather conditions haven't allowed the sky riding to stay in place for very long, but we've got Winks with a Love Heart written over the skies here at Randwick. And the love is certainly here for this great mare. Well, Lizzie, pick of the yard time. What do you do in this circumstance?
Well, it's very hard, isn't it? I mean, but all I want to say is, as far as Winks goes, she's as good as I've ever seen her first up throughout all the campaigns I've seen her. She's at the top of her game. So there's nothing, no stone is left unturned. She's a healthy horse. She's a happy horse. And we know she's an absolute champion. So she's obviously a star performer in this yard. Happy Clapper, I think, is the horse that has come back in great shape as well. He should be hitting the line strongly. Aloysia, also another one who I think will improve from the run, but still turned out really nicely. So lots to look forward to in this race for horses future and beyond, but of course Winks, the star of the show.
She sure is. Chris, how do you feel today?
I feel all right. It's good to get to this point because it means we've had a trouble-free preparation and with a horse that we're very confident with, and had there been any doubt, she wouldn't be here. So obviously her age is ticking, but we're not seeing that sign at home. The pressure of a race is completely different to track work, so that's what we're wanting to see. We're wanting to see her begin cleanly, travel well, and ease up to them at the 300 in true Winx fashion. If she does that, she'll be fine. If she's struggling at the 300, that'll be a sign that's saying, gee, she could be getting to an end, but as I said, we haven't seen any of those signs.
Because the 1400's different, isn't it?
It is a little. I went back and watched a few of her replays. She won a Group 1 1400 last prep. They went very slow. She still won easily. The key to a champion, whether it's a sporting champion, is under pressure. You need pressure in a race to build. I guess today could be lacking that pressure, but that's the only concern. But if there's pressure in the race, it doesn't matter what distance.
Yeah, go and find your spot.
Thank you.
Chris Waller. Well, Duff, for the record, your top four for the Apollo Stakes.
Yeah, what can you say? 5146. Let's just enjoy the moment and hope it is number 30 with the Winx here. Happy Clapper has trained up to make a statement here and make a real race of it. 4, Tom Melbourne. He looks the likely leader, and if they forget about him, who knows what could happen here. I think Unforgotten is the horse I'm most interested in for the future. 5, 1, 4 and 6.
Right, well, she's $1.10 Winx and been sitting at $1.10 basically all afternoon. She's probably there just before lunchtime today, but that hasn't stopped the punters wanting to be on her. Just looking at the bets here, you know, 1,200, 1,000, 3,300, 2,000. These are all within. There's a 10,000 place only. That punter's not as confident at $1.01, thank you, but 5,000 there on her. She's $1.10 Winx, just approaching $1 million invested on her today alone. But 110, Happy Clapper on the second line of betting at 11. You've got Tom Melbourne and Unforgotten 26 a pair, and Aloysia and Egg Tart 51 a pair. The surprising prices of the two roughies here. Brimham Rocks is $91, and that's a firm in the day, and Patrick Aaron's $101, and that's a firm throughout the day. Just running out of percentages here, but also don't forget the Winx Out market under Racing Extras at tab.com.au. Online there with Happy Clapper, the favourite in the Winx Out market. But $1.10, Greg, well, what more can you say about her, apart from the fact that sit back, enjoy and watch this wonderful mare.
Yeah, that's right, Muns, and this is the experience you can't describe when you get to the front of the grandstand and see Randwick packed. Even the old famous members stand, they're using that up in the top deck. It's almost full. It's 3/4 full. Down below on the lower decks, it's full, and everyone comes out into every vantage point in this magnificent grandstand, and no blades of grass in the areas, members or public, to be seen, because they're here to watch a champion, and they're getting down as close to the fence as possible. So they're over behind the gates, and all eyes on the blue colours with the M for Magic Bloodstock. Hugh Bowman and Winx have been on this journey together through track work and trials, and this is the build-up to another preparation coming off that amazing and historic 4th Cox Plate win. She's ready to keep this streak going, and this number is unthinkable, Ronnie. 30 she's going for in a row.
Yeah, look, we say the mare of the world. She's the horse of the world, and the eyes of the world are on her today. Look at her there. She knows it's race day, don't worry. She knows when it's trial day. She knows when it's race day. Look, just all eyes. She's still fresh. All eyes are on her at the start here. We don't want her to lose that tactical battle early here and be on the back foot, because there's some sharp horses in this race, like fit horses in Tom Melbourne, and obviously Happy Clappers have been a real challenger in the past, but she always finds a way. As Chris was talking to you earlier, Huey's there. Look at him just eyeing off the opposition there. She's got the ears pricked like the champion that she is. And let's hope we get another special moment here from her, because that is a special number 30.
So alert behind the gates as they get ready to call them up for another historic moment here at this famous racecourse, Royal Randwick. So Darren Flindell getting set to call Winks for yet another of her comeback races. She's won this race twice. She wins it again. She makes history in this race alone. No horses won 3 Apollo Stakes. Sunline and Juggler won 2 each. She probably should be going for 4, but she missed this race last year because Bowman was suspended. So she trialled on this day 12 months ago and she resumed in the Chipping Norton. She's going for 30 straight. 3 Apollo Stakes. The ride is on again. Here's Darren Flindell for the Star Apollo.
Apollo it is, and Winks for the name in the sky with the Sky Rider. A few minutes leading up to the start of this, the stayer Patrick Erin goes in, and we're all locked and loaded now. The light is on for day 1 of the farewell tour of Winks, and we're ready in the Apollo. Set now, racing. Well, she was the last out of the gates, but boy, you could throw a handkerchief over them out of the barriers. Who's going to lead here? Tom Melbourne's pushing forward. Patrick Arena. Happy Clapper's very handy. Egg Tart out deep. Winks going between them. Then came Aloysia the rails. Brigham Rocks and Unforgotten is the last one. Tom Melbourne's obliged to go forward and take the lead. He draws a length in front now. If Happy Clapper will get some cover. Egg Tart goes to 3rd, then Patrick Aaron 4th the rails. Winks has one off the fence, so she can start a trouble from there on the outside of Aloysia. Then Unforgotten, and Brigham Rocks is the last one. 7.50 out. Tom Melbourne the front runner. The 8-year-old Happy Clapper. He's inching closer, going to the 600 metres. He wants to try and pinch a bit of a march on the chap. Happy Clapper really turns it on to Tom Melbourne. Then Egg Tart, Patrick Aaron, and Winks is 4 lengths away as they come around the turn. Tom Melbourne the inside of Happy Clapper. Stride for stride. Egg Tart 3rd. Winks is starting to chime into it. Bowman still sits pretty at the furlong. Happy Clapper. Clipperton goes for home, but here she comes now, Winks. She just sidles up on the outside, takes the lead and draws away again. Age shall not weary the champ. Once again, she's haughty and imperious. Winks makes it a 3rd Apollo Stakes, 2 lengths to Happy Clapper. Photo 3rd, Egg Tart, Patrick Aaron. Then came Unforgotten. Tom Melbourne weakened out from Aloysia, and Brigham Rocks was the last to finish.
Just perfection. You never want this to end. God, we wish it wouldn't end, but one day it will. So for the time being, we are going to cherish every moment. Hugh Bowman and Winks, the star of the show, led it yet again, and that is 30 straight.
Wow. Gee, you never get sick of that, do you? That customary low stride. She got a big slap up before the turn, as we usually see with her, and then she knew she was in a race and had it in control all the way down that straight. Why would we retire something like that? I don't know. She is just poetry in motion.
A big gap back to Happy Clapper, who ran the race of his life. But like we say over and over again, you have to be here to really appreciate what she means to racing, because the crowd cheer the moment Huey niggles and says, "Go, girl."
Yeah, it's just incredible. I mean, the people here were just, there didn't seem to be a moment where anyone was worried, but to see her just level out and hit the line, it's incredible. We're very lucky.